Sit down, boys and girls. It's assembly time with the Jeffrey. Oh wait. let's do it like a. Hi, this is Robin. Okay, that's crazy. I actually hurt my arm there.
Are you leveling up with the Jeffrey? 'Cause the Jeffrey is leveling up with you.
Yeah. So, Jumpman Jr. Hurts, man. Yeah. Jumpman Jr. was Jeffrey's first game. Jeffrey learned how to boot it up from a little notepad note that Dad left, like load asterisk, comma 8, and once the program is there, RUN, return, and then Jeffrey could play Jumpman from disk drive. Yes. 4-year-old Jeffrey had a lot of fun with that. So of course when I got my Mega 65, Jeffrey was like, will it play with the Mega 65? Let's boot up the machine. Dum, 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 dum. So yeah, you understand from the title and from the concept of this video where we're going right now with my 8-bit show and tell I am Robin vibes. We're going to do a deep dive into the Jumpmans because it wouldn't boot up on the Mega 65. It still doesn't. I'm on the latest release, everything, and it still won't come up. Let me show you what it does. C64, D64, Jumpman Jr. And yeah, there are already 2 discs here. Oh, don't spoil it, Jeffrey. This is the one you can grab. Maybe I changed the first file name, but this is one you can find on the CSDB. So you can try this stuff for yourself if you have any clue what I'm going to explain to you next. I'm going to do my best. But hey, if you don't understand what Jeffrey's talking about along the line, just tell me in the comments, like, Jeffrey, you need to explain better, and then I know the next time I need to improve my assembly explaining skills or something. Move along. Let's load this abandoned disk into the freezer, into the virtual drive, yes. F3 resume. Go 64, yes. Okay. Mega key run stop. Remember this, guys. This is important because Jeffrey actually used this handy tool to load the first file on disk, and it automatically does RUN. You know, the stuff that was written down by Dad. That command does it all for you. This is all it does, by the way. That command does it all, and it is the clue that got me thinking about what might be wrong with Jumpman. Why? I'll try to show you. You saw for a second, you can go back in the video, that the screen became green, and I will show you by resetting the machine soon that it still becomes green. What happens after the green is a bit like random. Sometimes it does this, sometimes it stays green, sometimes it goes back to the basic ready thing. Why is it different every time? I hear you not asking. Well, the C64 sometimes has what is called an interrupt. It escapes the main program and then runs a little interrupt, usually timed by, yes, it can be timed by the CIA chip or by the FIC chip, if I say that correctly. The FIC chip I know for sure. So basically, if it is at a certain line, you can instruct the machine to do an interrupt, and then this is how raster timing works as well. Then it runs a little bit of extra code, and then pop back to the main program and continue where you left off, so to say. Hope I explained that well. Of course, when you run Jumpman, you don't know where exactly this rendering of the FIC chip is happening. So the crash is happening in an interrupt. That much is obvious now, because the situation is different every time. So a certain thing has to happen in code, and then the interrupt needs to kick in, and there can be more or less instructions of the main program can have been executed, if you know what I mean. That's why the results are different. I know. Anyway, Jumpman loaded something into cartridge memory, and it can actually execute from there. The Mega 65 sees that and thinks now like, hey, there's a cartridge. So every time I press reset now, it will think, oh, cartridge. Saw the green screen again? Yeah, that's what I mean. And now we're in the ready prompt. Okay, that's good. Now I can show you what happened to the Mega key run stop. Loading the first file from disk, remember? Searching for BMB. Who is BMB? You need to search for the asterisk, like the command tells you. So this Could be two things. Normally, this stuff looks at the first page in memory, like this is called 0 page, it's where variables are stored. Jumpman fucks around with the variables there, so this could have something to do with that, but I know now this has to do with the kernel being patched. Let me explain. I think we go back to the Mega 65 mode, because that has a nice monitor. A nice machine monitor. It's really nice. So I have to remount the drive, the disk drive, the disk, to the drive, the virtual drive. C64, D64, Jumpman Jr, Bandit. Yes. F3 resume. Directory. So here it already says where Jumpman is loading. The 8000 address to C030, because this is only just a simple basic script done by the Bandit. Oops, I should have comma-1 it in the Mega 65 mode, because then it loads in the wrong address. As you can see, it loaded in screen memory. You can't run this on the Mega 65, it's really meant for the Commodore 64, but I'm just showing you. This is also what it looks like on the Commodore 64. This is the Bandit's a little bit basic. I still find it weird why they do this. I've seen it actually a couple of times already. It checks on if A is higher than 0, then it continues to 4, and there it does like, but if you're 0, then you're 1, and then load. So why is this a thing? It could actually just go to 50 and execute this. It's a weird kind of situation. Anyway, it pokes something into the border and the background colors, yes. Displays this text, and then it wants to load this file, yes, that we just saw. With comma-1, so it will load it into the 8000 address all the way to C030, okay? I will do that without executing the program, because I don't want to do that sys command. That sys command is basically telling it to go to a certain location in memory, and Jeffrey hadn't figured out which location that was. I'll take you on this little part of the journey as well. And then it says to the CPU, like, start reading instructions there. And I don't want it to do that right now, because we're in the Mega 65 mode and it doesn't make sense to run code right now. We want to look at the code instead, with the handy monitor that the Mega 65 provides. By the way, I'm doing all this work. Can you guys hear me? Yes. From the looks of it, you guys can hear me. Thank you. I wanted to confirm that. And recording. That's also important. Before doing the full deep dive and being like, shit, we didn't record anything. Because now we're getting to the hard shit, right? So D stands for disassemble. And Jeffrey was like, it loads on the 8000 address. Is that then the cartridge address? It could be, maybe. So let's disassemble 8000, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Or A, 8080. Those first two instructions here. Normally you don't expect the program to start off with that, and then do. Oh, this is a big giveaway that this is not proper assembly language for the Commodore 64. This is a new instruction, guys. This is a Mega 65 instruction. This is not Commodore 64 instruction. Yeah, you could technically probably run it as an illegal opcode and maybe does some fancy shit that you need to do for your demo. But this is not how Jumpman would have run, no. I know that from here, from the 8009 address, it becomes Jumpman code. We can see that in the next bit. But yeah, how did I figure out where Jumpman starts? Let me take a look at this program again. So this is basically the start address, right? Now in Commodore 64 it's really hard to convert from decimals to hexamals. All addresses that are in the monitor are hexamals, right? But you can figure it out with using the Mega 65 BASIC, which is an iteration of BASIC 10. It's now called BASIC 65. With this command we can calculate the hex value of 49152. It goes to C000. And as you know, there's like a little program there from C000 to till C030. That's just a little setup program, Jeffrey figured. We can look at it really easy because it is in one screen. Disassembling from this address. Bam. So there's actually some junk here. Some setup stuff, or it's just empty memory even. So it is not even all the way till C030 because the program actually stops here. Here it jumps to that 8009 address that I told you about earlier, right? Are you following along? jump. Yeah, it's a jump instruction. It tells the machine to go to that address and start reading instructions from there. We're starting, of course, here. Well, I'm not going to go over all these commands in detail. There's a different videos for that. Jeffrey's not good at explaining all this at a level that, makes sense, I guess. I'm just doing my very best to tell you the story, or at least tell you how I got to where we are now, right? So I can give you a little bit of background on the LDA and the STA, because these are simple to understand. A is like a little variable, it's the accumulator. You can load a variable in there, a little value. We're loading 0, 0 in there. Basically, this is LDA, guys, in memory. It's like this is the byte. And then 0, 0 is like the variable that goes into the instruction. Load it on A, this is a register on the CPU. And then store A on this address, FB. Because FB is not a 16-bit address here, it's a different STA command than a 16-bit command. Again, already hard, I know. But FB goes to 0 page on the first memory thing in the FB slot. And then it does another value, and it throws it on FC. Now, any veteran in assembly already can tell you, like, okay, it's storing a 16-bit value there, E000. That's what is being stored in memory. And what it does here, it sets up Y, another one of these registers. There's like A, you also have a Y, and you have an X. It starts with 0, 0, it increases it here with increase Y, yeah. And here, if we do a load and a store on this FB address, which we set up here with this one together, there's 16-bit value, 16-bit is 2 bytes, yes. It works on that, and basically with the offset of Y, which starts at 0, and then increasing Y, and then looping here with a branch thing comparison to not equal to 0. This is technical, I'm just skipping over it really quickly now. It is basically a loop to read from E0000 as set up here, and then also E001 all the way till FFFF. Yes, basically the far end of the Commodore 64 memory. Now, Jeffrey, why would you read something and then write it back on the same location? Well, that has to do with how the Commodore 64 is set up. You have 64K of memory, right? You can access that memory and you can read from that memory and write to that memory. But not all memory is the same, sort of. I say that wrong. There are, that 64K is from 0000 all the way to FFFFF. And that's what you can target with these commands, right? But in order to, for example, interact with the FIG chip or the SID chip, the C64 has sort of like these chips mapped in on these memory locations as well. So if I write something to an address in the D0000 range, you're targeting either the FIG chip or the SID chip and do something like put something on screen or play a little sound or whatever, right? If you want to access the memory, you need to map that out. There's the PLA. It actually is this bit here. What's happening here is it says to the PLA like move some shit around in the memory map so that we can access the memory actually that is below all these chips and ROMs. Because what is on E000 all the way till the end, the FFFFF? It's the kernel, it's the OS of the Commodore, right? So there's a ROM that is there, and we're actually reading from ROM here, from the kernel ROM, and then when we write it, you can't write to ROM, let's read only memory. So then the Commodore is like, oh, then we'll write it in RAM behind the ROM. And then this instruction, this 3D, is being saved here on the 01 register on the PLA. It tells the PLA, throw out the kernel. But because we have dumped the kernel into RAM, kernel gone, as if the kernel is still there, but in RAM. And the RAM we can update. And that's exactly what's happening here. So in this instruction, ED is being saved on the FDD6 address. It's the kernel that we copied on RAM, storing the FDD6 there, and we patched our kernel for some reason. I have no clue what it does. I was about to go into that rabbit hole at some point and I thought like, no, let's first go and spider the code. I've been like tracing the code all the way till where that screen becomes green, you know. And then I started to notice it would go out into interrupts and I never come back from those interrupts because something's very much failing there. Leading back to that fuck up with the mega key run stop, right? That is a kernel thing. So whatever it's patching here, it probably touched that one. could be. At least it's interfering in a major way, I'm going to say. So, yeah, the Mega 65 uses a modified kernel. Not the one that the Commodore 64 uses. It has been tampered with. And Jumpman expects the original kernel to be there. So, what can we do about that? So Jeffrey was looking at his code and was like, I don't even have to write anything myself. I can use Jumpman code all the way up to here. And then I changed this. I loaded this code and then I did a little poke to this address, making this an RTS. RTS is like return from subroutine. Normally you have a GSR instruction that tells the CPU like, go there. And then when it sees this RTS, it's like, go back to where you came from. But if there is no more GSR instructions being called by the stack pointer, going way too deep now, so no GSR instruction to go back to, then it's like, exit the program. So Jeffrey updated the program to be like this, and I run this in FICE, right? So then basically what happened in FICE was, it does a complete kernel dump there in the RAM, from the exact Commodore kernel that the Jumpman actually expects, right? Then you can go into the device, also has a monitor just like this. It's access bit Alt-H, if I'm not mistaken. And then you can save like a specific memory block. So I saved E0000 all the way till FFFF on disk. I'll show you in a bit, with the exact result as Jumpman expects it to be. Yes. And then you'll soon see I've updated that sys command that normally goes here. I've updated that to go here instead. So skipping this copying bit. We load that from disk, that copy. And then starting the program from here with the stuff already in memory set up, Jumpman will work. Trust me. I hope I explained that well. That was a lot of blah blah with the Jeffrey in assembly, looking at some cryptic shit. It's amazing. Yeah, let me go 64 already? Yeah, why not? Jumpman is still in, of course. We just loaded it through the Mega 65. We do go 64. And now you see, like I said, right? It can be green, it can be the C64 colors, or through the ready prompt. It's random. Quite cool. Okay, power cycle the machine. Get that memory cleared out. And restore to load the Jeffrey version of the disk. So I've kept the Bandits stuff in, but I modified it. Okay, Mega 65, F3 assume. Technically I could also make it in a way that you could just boot it up from this mode. That is possible, that we can just play Jumpman in the Mega 65, without going to the Go 64 mode. You guys want to see that? Jeffrey can do that. Anyhow, let's look at the disk. So I modified the Bandits basic, yes. And what it basically will do, I can just show you. Doesn't matter. I wanted to go really fancy and do the instructions by hand, like load the files one by one. But yeah, this is I kept his weirdness. So this is the original line broken by the Bandit. I inserted this bit, like the Mega 65 fixed by the Jeffrey. Everything the same, but we first load the kernel. It's also important to first load the kernel and then this bit, because as soon as you load this bit, the basic will be like out of memory. It's really weird. So load these first, then this one. And then this was the original statement, the original sys address where it would go, and this one is slightly higher, you see? This is bringing us to this C015, skipping the kernel copying. Okay, so I can just run this and see it in action now. Jeffrey's game, his first game that he played on the Commodore 64, for God's sake. Finally booting up on the Mega 65. Oh yeah, I love this so much. Oh, now of course we need to play, right? Oh man, what a journey. Blabbing. I hope it was not too much. It was too much probably. A lot of people are like, that flew completely over my head, Jeffrey. Or we skipping. Let's see it working, man. Okay, one player. If I want to die really fast, I have to play at speed 2. If I want to get far, I need to play on speed 3. Speed 2 is just good fun. Need fast hands. Speed 1 is undoable. I can't do speed 1. The lower the number, the faster jumping goes. So this is quite fast already. This is almost the fastest possible. Yes. Yeah, of course Kid Jeffrey played this a lot, so I know what I'm doing, sort of. I normally start different fuck on this level. Oh, so good fun. This is a clue, guys, about this update, the kernel not being the same. It's a clue, I mean, more games have trouble booting up, and I think the Jeffrey has to look at, is it doing any kind of kernel copying to memory and patching, because then it goes wrong. I'm going to have a guess at Frantic Freddy doing the same thing. Is at least a high possibility, because it's sort of acting the same-ish. Doesn't want to go into the game. Bit of randomness what it is doing, so also interrupts. Yeah, I might be able to, because Frantic Freddy is the second game that Kid Jeffrey played, right? So, also said that both of those didn't work on the Mega 65, and now I have a way probably to get it all working. Do a little disc on them. Yeah, there's one problem with doing a little disc on them. I probably can't share it legally, right? That's impossible. It's copyright and stuff, yeah. Unless there is, then let me know. I don't know. Who do we need to talk to? Is Epic still in the mix? This is by Epic, right? I assume they are on the Forever 64 and stuff, right? With winter games or whatever. So does Cliento, my Cliento, does he have the rights or something? I don't know. Blabbing out of my ass, of course. Hey, in other news, my first member on the channel. Yes, I enabled memberships, guys, a little while when we hit 500 subscribers. Well, I was away when we hit 500 subscribers, so I never got to really celebrate it. I was in the UK. When I got back, I sort of fiddled with the YouTube settings and asked YouTube to review my channel. It's like the first step on monetization, you know, memberships and supers and stuff. I don't know. So I didn't really promote it. I think I mentioned it once in another video. This is the second time mentioning it. I did leave already in the descriptions a link to the membership page. It will also be in this video, of course. And then one guy, oh, so awesome. He became the first member. I did a little shout out video to him in the membership. Yes, in the membership page. Trying to remember the name correctly. It's Björn. Oh, Bad Jeffrey. You know me in names, right? Sorry. I'll do a proper shout out again, possibly in the future. I know I'm close. Maybe I had it correct. Maybe. Hop. It's fun. I did a shout out video this morning. I was walking outside the office. I was like, oh, let's do a shout out video. I posted it as members only, you know. And it already escaped me completely. But yeah, are you kidding me? I'm on the assembly shit. My mind is overflowing. There's a lot of technical details here. So fun. All of this. Having good times with the retro shit in the YouTubes. Oh yeah. I not have a good time with the Jumpmans and the thingies coming downstairs to kill me. No. Oh, can I finish this level? That would be fun. Oh man. Don't do that, Jeffrey. You know they're coming. It's also so fast. Why did they put it on 2? Airplane, by the way. A lot of noise outside. Oh, go up. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Hurry. Yeah, I knew they were coming. Yes. I have 1, 2, jump. Yeah, the counter is on 2. Does that provide me 2 lives still? Or is this my final life? I can't say. It's always hard. It's a hard guess. Oh yeah, he stays above you. That's so annoying. Don't do that! I have no clue how to get rid of that annoying fucker. Oh, all of a sudden he comes through the level. I don't know my Jumpmans anymore. Is this the end? This is the end. It's a good way to end. I can't do the next level anyway. This is with all this random nonsense. Oh yeah. Can we type? No, we can't type, of course. We need to do it with the joystick. J. E. F. Jeff. Happy, happy, happy. It's always sort of stuck here. Doesn't continue. This is the thing with Jumpman in general. Restore. Yeah. Restore is implemented to go back here, like the reset switch in the Atari 2600. Yeah. Oh man, what a journey. I hope you liked that, guys. Let me know down in the comments if it was too much indeed, or if you liked that. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.
Are you leveling up with the Jeffrey? 'Cause the Jeffrey's leveling up with you!